guys, this is horrendous. I've never seen anything like it. It's huge, it's scary, and I sound like a TV journalist.
On October 12, 2002, 3 bombs were detonated in or near popular nightclubs in the tourism district of Kuta on the Indonesian island of Bali. This attack was the deadliest terrorist attack in Indonesian history. 202 people were killed in the attack, among them a British man, Daniel Braden.
They were onto a rugby team which took him to Bali. They were playing over a weekend, and that's what took an awful lot of the other people to Bali as well. So the nightclub in which he was killed was full of vibrant young people, all with wonderful futures ahead of them, and they were all cut down and future. So we thought, with this we have to do something, and we started to try and think why this happened, and as you were saying, we had to break down, or try and break down, the barriers that come up with backgrounds, faiths, cultures, whatever, and we thought also, I think probably slightly naively, that if we could change one terrorist's mind, it would be well worth it.
The Bradens decided to take all of these ideas and see how they could help to get young adults from all different backgrounds to better understand each other. From these ideas, the Encompass Program was born. Twice a year, it brings young adults from the United States, the United Kingdom, Indonesia, Israel, and the Palestinian territories to an outdoor adventure site in the United Kingdom for a week.
And they wanted to give young people the chance that the people who set off the bomb in this nightclub never had the chance to do, which was to meet people from a very different culture, from a very different background, different countries, different religions to their own, and try to understand each other a bit better. So that's what we're trying to do here. That's why you've all come together.
I got the chance to be a participant on the Encompass Journey of Understanding program in the fall of 2010. I know people who had previously participated in the program who had raved about it, but I had my doubts about how much difference a week could make for people who had such a long history of fighting. But I learned a lot from everyone, but specifically 2 people. One was Maron, who is an Israeli.
Okay, for me it's a thing that started earlier in high school. I always think that to meet this other culture, to meet other people, and I can say especially the Palestinians. And I thought that Encompass would be a great opportunity to do it.
The other was Luma, a Palestinian.
For me, the first thing I wanted to share when I came here was my side of the story. I wanted all the Israelis to know my side of the story and what happens on our side.
Okay guys, yeah, you need to keep moving.
Okay, go.
Oh, wait.
Someone got it? Someone have it?
Who's got my head?
Who's got my head? Someone's got to get her hand.
Give me your hand.
We were all thrown quickly into outdoor bonding and trust activities, such as obstacle courses and bridge building. But the vast majority of our time was spent in discussions.
I mean, although the outdoor activities are thrilling and exciting and daring and push people and all that, I mean, I think that's really important, but personally for me, I mean, it's always the discussions are really, really interesting.
But as fun as the activities were, when all the excitement from them died down, that's when it was time for us to sit down and really talk about the issues.
I don't know, for me, the army, I think the army is me. I'm gonna be in the army, and I think if I didn't thought that my army is representing myself, I wouldn't be there. And I'm going to the army because I believe in all my heart that my army represents me in 100%.
What you call is terror, what we call is jihad. Okay, to them, the entire Israeli community is an army, which practically it is, sort of, if you think about it. The entire community is an
center, occupying the main space.
I'm not defending.
We also had a decent amount of personal time, and it was during this that some of our best conversations and discussions happened.
My favourite best thing is the conversations you have with people which are often very, very personal, and I think are very much about people wanting to find out about you.
By far one of the most enlightening experiences was when the participants were able to ask each other anonymous questions about anything.
To the Palestinians, are you happy about the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine?
Of course, I'm not happy about the conflict. I don't think anyone wants to live under conflict and forgo to live a normal life. Of course, I'm not happy.
Yeah, I want to say that I'm not happy about that because it's affected my life a lot, affecting bad things.
The next answer is Israelis. Okay. So, what are your reasons for wanting to join the Israeli army? So, what are your reasons for wanting to join the army?
For me, I think really, first of all, for me it's a really exciting thing. I'm really proud. I think Jewish people didn't have an army for, I think, 2,000 years, and it was really, and to be able to stand on your 2 feet and defend yourself and don't have to be supported by any other country or people, and to be able to live for yourself. I think it's something that everybody should have, and I'm really proud to join the army.
It's not easy thing to do, but I think it's important. And I'm part of this also.
I think it's amazing when you start to see the group start to bond and start to work together, and you see people being able to confront what can be quite difficult discussions. There are really massive differences in terms of values, ideas, backgrounds, and watching people kind of work through them. It's not always...
The groups came really far in a week, but even late in the process, participants were reminded of how deeply entrenched some of the problems are. Though the participants bonded strongly to each other, some of the differences are so large, everyone was reminded that this was not the end, but the beginning of a long road ahead.
I want to explain something for all. This is the bad for Rosh, okay?
This is the conflict.
It was for not your grandfather. Your grandfather. So, and one day I come and I say for Rosh, this was for my grandfather. I want to take it now. After that, I work in it, I grow it, I do a lot of things in it. So how can another one come and say for you, this was for my grandfather? It's really hard for all.
For you, because it really was.
It was it. Look,
my brother and your grandmother lived there together. Yes, I agree with that. But we can't say.
Back to that.
But we can't say that Tel Aviv is yours and we took it and stole it because it's wrong.
This is not. I can't say this now. This was for my grandmother.
Okay, I don't want to fight it. Just
I think we can take the fight.
No, it's not wrong. Yeah, let's take it.
You know what's disrespectful? We're not talking about you.
Guys, we should stop this discussion.
It was very disrespectful the way Miriam left the room while I was talking about my country. I heard you talking about my country like it's your country. Do you know how heartbreaking that is? And I shut my mouth. I sang your song.
He went because he wanted to toilet or something.
I sang your song, and you couldn't even stand up to do my stupid dance. That's how disrespectful that was.
It was hard for me to see that movie. It was very hard for me to see that movie.
Hard?
We didn't say things about Palestine.
Because you can't. Because you can't.
Yes, they can.
It's not always easy, but people make it, and seeing when, you know, things can have got really challenging or really conflictual, but the group always seems to manage to get back on track. And, you know, this could have happened in a session and it could have been enormously, like, could have flared up, and then people would be dancing together later.
Everybody, go!
Alex!
Come on!
Wait. Start, what can I start?
Yeah, start. Just follow me. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As the week came to an end, it was clear that there weren't going to be any miracles. But for the first time, there was the possibility for change.
I learned that love has no borders, and I really believe that it can be an end to the war in my country, and really that may take some time, but I came here really skeptical, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm going out with a lot of hope.
I never knew how much I would learn about myself. I just learned so much, and then about other people even more. This big things like the war. I didn't really know much about the Palestinian-Israel war. Now I can say I do know stuff about it. Even small things like what's your house like different houses around the world. So I've just learned so much, and it's something that can stay with me forever.
During the final ceremony, the participants were interviewed about their experiences from the past week. Some of the answers show that though no one is going to be changing the world tomorrow, people are off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm coming from Israel, I think to confront my truth and understanding that sometimes my side is wrong. I think it's very important to understand that we have things that we have to change, and we have to do something in different ways, and to really understand that I'm out of this week with a lot of hope, and understand that it's going to be a long journey at home, but I truly believe it's possible to change people. I change.
For me, it means a lot to hear Maron saying he wants to change and he wants to make a better army and all this, because for me as a Palestinian, I suffered a lot from the army, and having him saying this, he's going to be responsible for other soldiers, and the others will pass for the others, and this will make a big change. For me as a Palestinian, I will try to tell I'm telling everyone how friendly they all were, and how funny Amichai was, for example, how helpful Maron was, and how hyperactive Almas is, and how May changed her perspective and how sweet she was.
Israeli people, it's very nice to meet her, to meet them, to meet Maron, to meet Amichai, to meet Mai, to meet Almas. It's very nice, and I'm very surprised when he give me their food, bamba. It's very nice. It's very nice for me to meet the other people in the other country, and I feel I meet the second family in here. It's like family. I want to go home because it's my feeling right now.
I'm feeling a whole bunch of different emotions. It's hard to put it in the words. I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling confident, it's just hard to put it in the words. It would be, what I'm feeling right now will last with me for a long time. It would be better when I'm home by myself and able to just write it all out on my blog and just try to get everything out. But a blog cannot express what I felt this week about all of these people who, within a week's time, today has been a week. Within a week's time, and it's really only been 6 days because we traveled on the first day. Within 6 days, we became so close to each other. Well, I haven't been this close to even some of my closest friends. And it's just an amazing experience.
Trying to hug someone who's crying. Oh!
I'm not crying or conserving for everybody. My makeup. I don't want to say goodbye to you guys.
Now, with all the crying and the laughing and the saying goodbyes, the big question was, what's next? I have to say that when I first found out I was going to be going on Encompass, though I was really excited, I was really skeptical that much of anything could be changed in 7 days, especially when you had these people who had such deep-seated issues. But I have to say that I was amazed by what happened. Sure, no one's gone on to single-handedly change the world, but everyone definitely left Encompass with their viewpoints changed for the better. You know, it's been 2 years since I've been on Encompass, and I still find myself to this day talking about it. I still talk to the people I met there, and it's really great to know that I now have friends from all across the world. Maybe it's naive to hope this, but because of programs like Encompass, I now have the hope that maybe in the not too distant future, things might change for the better.